Welcome everyone to QuickCast. This is our second episode and we're going to be going right through this fairly quickly. My name is Jeremy Paul, also known as Sleepy Juice for those of you on Twitch. And this is going to be a show about retreating, getting your army out of a bad situation. And we'll be looking at a ZVZ to kind of demonstrate that. So let's go ahead and get into the game, and thank you for watching.
Hell, it's about time.
Alright, so we're going to jump directly into the game here. We're going to do a ZVZ. It's going to be between Drone of Arc and Rhythm. Drone of Arc is the one that submitted this game through our Casts Ep2, and we're going to be playing on Yonsu, which is a two-player map that its most notable feature is the fact that it has two-thirds that you can pick from. There's one that's actually away from your main, so if you were to continue on, like go main natural, and then the third will actually be past some destructible rocks onto the side, and the other one's actually in front of your base, more towards the enemy's natural. Also kind of notable, and specifically for this game, is that there's two island expansions, both of which have destructible rock entrances. We'll be getting into that a little bit later as this game unfolds. Basically, this game is going to work out fairly similar for both sides here in the beginning. It looks like they're going to be doing a hatch first into a 16 pool, 16 gas, and then where the difference is going to come in is we're going to actually have a third hatch from our southern player here, and we're going to have a Nidus from Drone of Arc up on the northern side there, and he's going to go into a Nidus all in. Now what we're going to talk about for this, while it's coming out here, we can see the hatcheries are about to be made. We're going to actually talk about retreating with your army, when that's supposed to happen, why you do it, and also reinforcing your army. But for the second, let's actually go back into the game here and take a peek at what's happening. We have the hatcheries down. We are noticing that there is not any early ZVZ aggression like you would see. We're not seeing Lings or Banelings, and in fact, we're not even going to see any Mutas today. What we will be seeing, however, is mid-game armies coming from Rhythm. He's basically macroing up to Rhythm, to the mid-game army. And from Drone of Arc, we're going to be seeing his Nidus all-in that he's been building towards. Now, the ways to retreat are different for each race. Obviously, Protoss has the ability to recall, which is an amazing ability. You're able to go in, push a Zerg third, destroy it, and recall directly out. It's a wonderful tool as far as retreating and conserving units. Terran players obviously have medevacs, and being able to pick up with the medevacs and get out of a hostile area is invaluable. Also, it's really nice to see when they're able to do small micro tricks, as if like the Marines get cut off by force fields and they pick them up within the medevacs and pull back. Now, Zerg kind of has to rely on normally a little bit more traditional methods of having allies to get out. Zerglings are quick and can get out that way. Oh, and there we go. We have the Nidus down, and it's going to be building towards that all in there. It looks like right now we're fairly close on drones. It looks like we have about 10 more drones for Rhythm than we do for Drone of Arc. But he's going for a macro style, so that makes a little sense. Both of them are actually moving up now to the next level of Hive. And what we're going to see is we're going to see, oh, here we go. The Nidus is coming in on the ledge here. You can't see it yet. There's nothing there to see. You can see as just upgrades coming down, no units in the area. And he's going to come out straight down and to the left, and we're going to see him attack the main here. Now, oh, really quick, we do see the roaches come in, and the roaches, they're focusing down the Nidus. That's great. There's good transfuses on it, trying to keep it up, but he wants to cut off the flow of reinforcements and cut off the ability to retreat from those roaches. There are just so many roaches. Drone of Arc has just so many forces here that he's just eating through all of the roaches for Rhythm. Now the drones are being pulled off the line, and they're going to go directly after the Nidus. He wants to cut off that second Nidus. The Queens for Drone of Arc are able to keep up most of the units through transfuses, but he cannot keep up those Nidus worms, and it looks like through all that he didn't lose very many drones at all. Mostly just roaches here that have been gone down, but he's continuing the pull forward, continuing to make roaches and then funnel them through there. And over time, if he doesn't have that Nidus worm to retreat through or to reinforce from, he's going to end up running out of forces if he doesn't do economic damage. So far, he's only killed a few drones, if that. The drones are being pulled offline again to go after the Queens. Queens have just enough to transfuse one more time coming up here. Oh, the drone's being pulled back. There are enough roaches now to handle this. But you should see, there goes the last two transfuses. And it looks like this is going to be cleaned up. Now, at the same time, we do have an attack going on in the third. Another Nidus worm popped up here, and it looks as though it's going to go down there. So he's able to pop the third on that one, which is great. The roaches for Rhythm are up to the northwest there, but he's able to get back in through the Nidus worm and retreat back to his base. Now, all of those roaches and Queens that died in the main are gone. No matter how much damage he did, he didn't do any economic damage with those, and it turns out to be around even. Now, the second attack with the Nidus worm on the third actually was able to get out of there with all those units plus do economic damage. Now Rhythm sees the new Nidus worm coming up. This is his third Nidus worm, well, fourth technically, to come up to attack, and he's already there. He's got units there to clean it up, and he's gonna just start sharking around with his roaches to kind of clean up any other attacks going on here and move forward with his macro game. Now, in another vein of that is Drone of Arc here has to kind of move forward with what he's doing. You see he's getting ranged upgrades now, making some lings to help attack, but there is another Nidus worm coming in, and that's like 6th sense right there. That's amazing that he found that with no vision up there. He just got there right in time and actually shuts that down. It'll be interesting to see. We should go through the replay maybe at the end and see if he had any vision of that at all or what tipped him off, because I didn't see anything there. Now, so we have roaches on Rhythm side, and he's also going for Hydras at the same time here. So he has Hydras out in the field. On Drone of Arc side, we have the third up. He's starting to switch more into a more macro game. He has to, basically, at this point. He has the Lings coming out to do some harassment. They're going into the third now, swinging around. There's a great pull by Rhythm. And he's able to zone out most of all those Lings there. Now, there is going to be a group going into the main there that we can find. Oh, and he holds positions on the one and the third. They're just left there. Rhythm has actually forgotten to kill them. There he goes. He comes back with the army now. The ones in the main are being cleaned up by Queen there, basically handling it, and he's going to be moving out there. It looks like it's all been cleaned up. So we have Rhythm now with a Roach Hydra army that's moving out to the mid, and we have Drone of Arc going for a Roach Infestor army. And taking a fourth up on this little island expansion. He's dropped down the rocks on there. We see the fourth for Rhythm going down in the more forward position. It's a little bit more open. Has a retreat path on it where the island expansion actually has just one entrance, and that's the only way in or out. So we're gonna go a little bit forward here, and we see we're at even drones now. We finally evened out, and we can see that we're going to have a push here from Rhythm. He has his Roach Hydras, and he's a decent angle on there. That's a good arc. He's actually, but the fungals coming down have hold him down. The Drone of Arc pulls back, and they cannot attack into that because they'll be funneling in and they'll just get picked off one at a time. Comes back, sets up another good arc, waits for Drone of Arc to push through, but it doesn't happen. Drone of Arc just waits patiently. So what we're going to see is Rhythm's going to pull down and actually around to left. He's going to try to get a flank on this or separate maybe some units out, but it looks like he's probably going to go... Oh, no, he does separate some units out to go for the third there while his main force is pulling back. Those just get basically picked up by Drone of Arc there. He's in the right position at the right time, but oh, now we're having the push back from the original position. Good fungals. Great fungals down on top of the Hydras there. Roaches can't go anywhere. There's just a good arc here from Drone of Arc, and he's able to take down a lot of these units there. There's just a huge disadvantage right now with about 30 in population for Rhythm, and he's having to pull all the way back to his main. And Joan of Arc's going to chase him down, but he had a good retreat there, and now he's going to actually come back onto the creep with the Hydras, and he's going to get him pushed back there. But we do have the Infestor hit squad here coming through down to the 4th of Rhythm, and he's going to end up, assuming he's going to drop some Infested Terrans here and take out this base. Yeah, and there they come, the Infested Terrans all over the place. This base is going to be a goner. But at the same time, we have Joan of Arc getting pushed back from the mid by Rhythm. Rhythm just has a large amount of Hydras. That's a lot of DPS, and the Roach Hydra of Joan of Arc just isn't as much. All of his Infestors are actually out doing other things. They're taking care of harassing that 4th, and then they're going to be pulling back to the middle. Now, so Joan of Arc basically is getting pushed all the way back to his 3rd right now, and he's going to sit there and try to hold it. As we can see, the 4th is completely gone. Now, Rhythm is actually moving into the island expansion here, and this is where we're going to get into retreating again. See, Rhythm moves in, easily takes out this base, even though with Burrow research, all of the drones and the Queen go down. There's no detection here, so they're just going to sit there safely. Meanwhile, Joan of Arc is going to actually send all of his Infestors down to take care of the 3rd and move his army to intercept and block, do like a soft contain on this island. Now, this creates a funnel. Now, there's no way for Rhythm to get down off of this without massive losses. He's basically soft-contained into this island. Meanwhile, we have Infested Terrans going down all over the 3rd base, and the Infestors are moving towards the 4th base, the new 4th base of Rhythm. And you can see he's just funneled down, and the Hydras for Joan of Arc are just, they're picking off reinforcements. They're unable to, the arc is just amazing there. Rhythm is just unable to get out. And meanwhile, we can see the income is just plummeted. There is nothing left for Rhythm. He's lost his game. That inability to retreat with that army and the inability to reinforce has just ended it for him. He's just stuck there. Now, if there was a path out of there, he could have actually pulled all the way back, handled that harassment from the Infestors, and basically taken that game to a later stage. But moving into that island while having that army from Joan of Arc in the midfield just turned out to be a horrible idea, and it killed him in the end. Alright everybody, so it was a great ZVZ between Joan of Arc and Rhythm. I had to remember his name just then. We talked about retreating. We saw how Joan of Arc's original all-in with the Nidus basically didn't win the game, and then he lost the entire army because he didn't have a retreating path. We then saw the same concept put into play later in the game when Rhythm walked his entire army up into the island natural and then got trapped there because Joan of Arc's army was able to pull in behind it while having harassment take out all of Rhythm's bases. Now, the important thing to take from this from lower level players is to just be aware of your map. Know that if you walk up into this island expansion while there is a giant army in the midfield, it's not going to end well if he comes and traps you in. It's a contain not in your base. It's really bad. So just be aware of these concepts. I would love for you guys to send me some replays of before the episode. We'll take one from last week where you've gotten trapped somewhere, and then take one using this concept to its fullest. Show me how you pulled back from taking that expansion and sent just a few units up and then was able to zone out that army. So send me those. My email is in the description below, as well as my Facebook and Twitter. You should follow me on those. And also, please like and subscribe the video. I'm hopefully going to make a bunch of these, so everybody who's enjoying these, please let me know. I love feedback. And until the next time, you guys go out, play some games, and have fun.